Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. I'm the Gray Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Sunday, May 21st, 2023. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Let's get the first 5 cards in our 5-card spread to find out. First card we are starting with today is We Love Her in her reversal. We've got our 5 of Pentacles coming out again in its reverse position. As we've been seeing, we pulled this card in our card of the day just a few days ago in the same position. A lot of addressing right now towards repairing and amending abandonment wounds. Now, keeping in mind, this is not easy work. This can feel very sticky. You cannot address a problem unless you face a problem. This is not saying that you are not having the abandonment wound surfacing. It's not saying that you're not having to deal with it. But what is very important about this right now is the fact that you are looking at it as such, observing these spaces and places where you feel this lack mentality, questioning yourself, probing deeper, not moving from a place of reactivity when this abandonment wound is triggered, but really allowing to be a space and opportunity to heal as you go forward from this point. The next card we have coming through right now in our 5-card spread, shooting out of the deck in its transfers, is the World. And this is what is so fantastic about these 2 cards in combination, because what we truly see right now is, as you are experiencing this triggering of an abandonment wound, having this observation, having this opportunity to really investigate it for the sake of healing it, because there is a deeper observation afoot that you are recognizing that this particular abandonment wound that you have to deal with, the spaces and places that make you approach things from a need-based mentality, from a lack mentality, they put a blocker in your own ability to truly manifest what it is that you are trying to manifest for yourself. You are feeling this blockage right now in your present space, in your current environment. But what we like about this so much is you are not reacting from it. You aren't reacting specifically at all potentially today is what we're seeing, because you are feeling the wound come to the surface. But instead of utilizing that as a moment of pushing forward into the spaces and places that would require you to be moving just from trying to fulfill that need, you are really asking yourself if the need that the abandonment wound is trying to fill or is driving you to in this moment, if that is actually aligned to what it is you're trying to manifest. Because you may be discovering right now that there is a paradox between what it is that you feel yourself being driven forth towards right now, from a need-based approach, from a wounded approach, versus what it is you truly actually want and are trying to bring forth in your life at this moment. The next card we have coming through right now in our 5-card spread, center of the deck. What on earth is this? We've got a lot of cards popping up here. I think these are the rest of the cards. Hold on a minute. We're going to look at it like this. We've got 4 cards coming through right now for the center of the deck. We're going to read all of them because that's what we do. And this makes a lot of sense to what I'm seeing here. So what are we really seeing? This is that moment of observation coming to the surface right now. It's going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy right now, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For feminine energy, we saw yesterday there was a focus in holding that balance, in finding that source of stability within yourself right now. But what we're also seeing today is that moment of observation, because lo and behold, we see here the Queen of Pentacles. It's back in its reversal. Yesterday she was in her upright. And this is that moment that feminine is going back and forth right now, because feminine recognizes that they are holding on some action right now that would allow for them a better sense of stability. But there is the paradox here. This is the moment that feminine is looking at where their need, where that anxiety is springing from, versus what it is that they truly want. What is unsettling the feminine energy right now that is making you go out of that space of stability you were feeling potentially into that place of feeling a lack of stability in some areas is the fact that you are potentially holding on some actions or potentially considering an action that you recognize would potentially introduce chaos into your immediate environment. I will point out this is a continuation on the cards that we ended yesterday's daily collective reading on. You can see it on my YouTube channel if you missed it yesterday, because we ended yesterday's reading with the Queen of Wands and the Tower, which was feminine energy recognizing that they have to be very cautious because they're manifesting generators right now. You're bringing these things in, but you also have the power of introducing chaos into what you're bringing in. So this is feminine questioning and asking themselves why some of the needs right now, some of the things that they're trying to move through from to fulfill the abandonment wound, would basically be an opportunity to introduce or welcome this chaos in. Feminine is holding on a decision right now between something that may create a sense of chaos, may create a disruption point, may have even previously created points of disruption in your own experience in the past, versus the new opportunities, the new stability, present opportunities and offers that are being made available to you right now, that are bringing in the opposite of that. Yet, this seems like it would be a pretty easy decision, feminine. This seems like a no-brainer. Yet that is why you are having this moment in really delving into your own abandonment wound, holding on your action, allowing your intuition to speak, feeling that lack of stability in some area, and asking yourself right now, why am I potentially trying to drive forth right now? Why am I feeling this urge to move into something that could create chaos instead of that space or place of opportunity? Really analyzing your choices right now and asking yourself if your choices are going to help you feel more stable. Are they going to be moving towards those opportunities of greater stability? Or are they going to bring this chaos back into your life, or allow more of this kind of chaotic energy to propagate? While for masculine energy right now, we are seeing that you yourself are also feeling the triggering of an abandonment wound, something coming to the surface right now, something that you are feeling called to address, potentially feeling the need to move from a need-based approach. Also, taking this opportunity to really assess how when you move from a need-based approach, it does kind of block your own ability to manifest what it is that you truly desire right now. And this is that moment that you are putting a lot of assessment in terms of the decisions that you need to make thus far. We did see that yesterday, one of the challenging points for the masculine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to, was based on some situations or circumstances in your immediate environment, in your immediate space that required correction because it was blocking you or potentially standing in the way of you being able to move into more divine partnerships, into partnerships. We saw for the masculine energy right now, there was a lot of promising feminine energy around you right now. There's a lot of opportunity, but your own life, your own circumstances right now were creating a blocker. There were some things that you needed to move away from or be very cautious towards moving towards, because it might interrupt the flow of some of that positive energy. For masculine right now, this is that point of assessment, holding on some action right now, deciding what you want to do with an orientation or direction towards a consideration of a feminine energy in your life, and asking yourself if this energy is one that brings greater stability or if it is a destabilizing force. Because we see here the direction or decision the masculine also needs to make right now is whether they're going to move towards the places of more stability right now. Are they going to accept the opportunities that you're being presented with right now that are showing you that stability, but potentially with some orientation towards some energy of feminine, that you have some anxieties around the stability towards them and the destabilizing nature of that energy in your own life. You are not sure what decision to make on this right now. You are in a point of consideration as well. Continuing to get clarification, the next cards in our 5-card spread today, the 4th card in our spread. This is going to be a complicated read. I can already see it. We're delving into some stuff. This is that point of observation. Masculine and feminine right now. You've got the abandonment wound triggered. You are literally smacking yourself in the head right now, and you're saying to yourself, what am I doing? What am I thinking about here? What decisions am I going to make? Because you recognize right now that you have a choice to make. You feel that abandonment wound tugging on you. You feel that call to move towards those spaces or places that have that need, that have that urgency. But you're articulating and recognizing that that need and urgency that you're feeling to move towards some things right now might not necessarily be moving you towards what it is that you're truly trying to manifest and what you're trying to desire at this point. And this is that point of observation. With this Chariot in its reversal, trying to go through and clear up this blockage with an observation on the importance and the value of making sure that you are properly energetically aligned with the energy around you to be able to move into the spaces and places that are going to allow you to truly move towards those goals that you have, move towards those things, finding the energy that shares a common purpose with you. For some of you, this abandonment wound is pulling you into spaces or places right now that you may have already recognized are not necessarily aligned towards that higher purpose that you're trying to reach, yet still you're feeling that call towards them. This is that point of observation that you're having to make as it relates to what energy you want to move forward with right now. What is bringing that stability? What is bringing that opportunity versus the energy that you may be feeling that pull with? You may be feeling that pull with that abandonment wound being triggered, but you're not letting yourself just rush blindly headfirst back towards those things because you recognize the blockage that they cause in your own experience. Final card for our first 5 is the Moon card. This is some deep, heavy work today. This is making you probe into places and spaces that you feel you don't have all of the answers. There's a mystery here. As I said, there's a bit of a paradox that you are experiencing in your own self right now versus what it is that you truly want versus what it is that you feel a need or a calling to move towards. It is this addressing between the difference between the abandonment wound that you're trying to heal and where it is trying to lead you versus what is truly best for you in this moment, that higher guidance, that higher goal, those higher opportunities that you feel are very close, that you're working to try to maintain that balance. This is making you have to go into some deeper exploration within the self to try to unlock the mystery of this inside your own self, so that you can have that deeper understanding to help you heal the wound, to move you forward without that blockage. Let's get some clarification on these first 5 cards. Clarification right now for the 5 of Pentacles in its reversal, in combination with the World card in its transverse. Having to have this moment and really face and ask yourself, feeling that abandonment wound rise up to the surface, feeling those places and spaces that you are just wanting to rush back into just for a needs-based approach, recognizing that some of those spaces and places that you are experiencing this with right now, you are recognizing may not be leading you to the best place for you to be manifesting what it is that you're truly trying to manifest for yourself at this moment. May I please have 1 card to clarify? Clarification coming right now. Beautiful. 2 of Cups. Pulled this card yesterday in the daily collective read as well. This is where we see the beauty of working to heal this abandonment wound truly comes to the surface. Because what we are recognizing here is you are putting that concentration and that intention into the idea and aspect of an equal partnership, an equal give and take, the reciprocity, the transparency, the equality required in the partnerships in your life. Do not necessarily need to speak towards romantic, certainly can be, but any of the energy that you align with in your own life right now, and really recognizing and asking yourself, recognizing the value and significance of those being positive, reinforcing, reciprocal spaces, but also feeling the challenge of spaces and places that may not have that same equality. may not allow for that same equality, but still feeling that pull and tug back towards them. Recognizing right now that that space and place sometimes does not create the place that you can truly manifest from. And this is the determining factor right now. Looking at the partnerships, looking at the abandonment wound that's getting triggered, and really asking yourself, that place, that space, that person that I am feeling this need-based longing for, that I feel I want to rush towards, though it has triggered an abandonment wound. Is there a possibility of equal partnership? Is there a possibility of reciprocity? If not, you are trying to manifest this for yourself right now, which is allowing you to observe and heal this wound instead of rushing towards it. And for others, this is a moment of assessing the abandonment wound being triggered and doing the work in that necessary to try to create equal energetic spaces to ensure that these are the spaces that are going to allow you to manifest to the degree that you are truly hoping to manifest at this moment. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our world card in its transverse in combination with this very hairy energy. Again, having this moment of feeling some sort of blockage as it relates to your own ability to manifest, but also taking into heavy consideration right now what is potentially blocking you. For feminine, this is the recognition of a choice that you need to make right now, of feeling pulled in two separate directions, holding on what it is that you're trying to manifest, and recognizing that the choice that you're making right now is potentially towards some opportunities that could potentially create chaos for you right now, versus the ones that are coming through with stability, with promise, with that presence of what could feel stable. And recognizing that feminine needs to make this choice for themselves, and feminine asking themselves right now, why are you potentially introducing chaos? Why are you potentially even considering allowing some of this destabilizing energy in? Because even that consideration as to why makes feminine start to feel unstable in the uncertainty. While for masculine, this is feeling that blockage right now in your own ability to manifest, because you yourself are feeling that uncertainty on how to move forward. While there is some opportunity for some spaces and places that may create more chaos in your life right now, versus the ones that are truly coming through as stabilizing forces, but holding back, potentially with a direction or attention to a feminine energy that is aligned to this choice, but that you may feel has some element of destabilization in the introduction of them into your space right now. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with the Seven of Pentacles in its reversal. Again, the solution here is time. The solution here is time. Time is up. There is something here that is telling both masculine and feminine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to, that you are not in a space of desiring to wait. This could also be indicative right now of the fact that there may be a choice or an option that you are trying to leave a consideration point open to right now, right? We see that both in masculine and feminine energy, but we're also seeing that there's some kind of recognition right now in the fact that the longer that you wait for something, the longer you're waiting for something to come in, the more unstable it feels, the more instability that it's causing. So for many of you right now, one of the problems is it's not just the fact that you're putting this consideration point in with the opportunities that you have to make right now, with the offers that are coming in, but also feeling like you are leaving this moment open in terms of moving towards a decision that does feel like it creates more chaos in your own space. But feeling also that you need to reach a decision on this right now. A conclusion must be reached, because something about even waiting for some conclusion, for some choice to come in, is already creating that sense of chaos, continues to make you feel unstable. For feminine, this is an internal feeling that creates this point of instability in feeling like you have to wait for something. While for masculine right now, this is a moment where you feel the urgency of having to make a decision right now, because a choice is going to be made. And if you do not take the choice, it may necessarily cause this chaos for you in this moment. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between the Queen of Pentacles in its reversal with the Two of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles. For masculine and feminine, a moment where a decision must be reached, a choice must be made. For feminine right now, this is having a point of consideration, of really feeling a moment that feels a little unstable because you feel like your choice is between something that brings some sense of chaos or disorder into your life right now versus a very solid, stable opportunity, having to face this decision in yourself, asking yourself, what is this decision? What choice do you want to make? Even asking yourself, why are you making a choice in the first place around something? Why are you feeling this need to potentially move towards something that is feeling more destabilizing? Because of the recognition of the significance and importance of moving aligned with energy that you recognize is sharing your own goals, your own aspirations right now. For masculine, feeling the same choice right now. But this is a moment where you are truly choosing right now between some opportunities and offers that are being presented towards you right now, but still feeling some calling, feeling some opening right now towards a manifestation of feminine that you feel drawn to, that you feel called towards, that you feel and recognize creates this own sense of instability in your own life right now that potentially creates a point of chaos when you're experiencing it. And also with an attention towards wanting to align towards the energies that you feel are also aligned towards your own goals, your highest purpose at this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through. 2 cards here. This is where we see the masculine and feminine energy reflecting themselves right now, okay? For feminine energy, there is a moment of consideration as it relates to, again, the healing of the abandonment wound. Something around this choice that you've been holding on versus the strong opportunity that's coming in right now is while feminine is having a choice right now, while, thank you for the gift, while stability, security is on the table, feminine is still holding on an action, but also observing that chaotic element that they're feeling, that they're not necessarily sure they want to let go of, may have to do with an unhealed karmic masculine. An energy that feels like it moves in its own purposes for its own direction, feeling some passionate energy towards this energy, but also recognizing that this energy has created or caused pain for them in the past. This is the moment of feminine having that point of observation, the abandonment wound being triggered by a masculine energy that has caused them pain, that seems to move with their own direction, with their own purposes, not aligned to them, but trying to serve their own needs and having that experience, that pain from those situations. Feminine still feeling that connection point to the masculine energy that is coming through the unhealed karmic masculine in this degree. Thank you for the gift. While masculine, you are feeling your own karmic tug right now towards a feminine energy that you are holding some decision or openness towards, that you feel creates some point of instability in your own life, creates some sense of chaos, having some stability offered or opportunity open to you right now, but recognizing that you feel unsure which way to move right now. And this is also creating a block for you in this moment because you are recognizing that there's points here that make it hard for you to move forward because it doesn't allow you to be able to drive forward with your own plans when you are in connection with that energy, and it has caused you pain in the past. If you had any question as to whether these energies were reflecting or aligning with each other, the answer is definitively yes, because the same conversation is happening in the masculine and the feminine head. Feeling that tug and the urgency towards unhealed karmic connections, asking if they can be restored, if they can be resolved, or if those energies are just completely unhealed and will completely pervasively continue to stay in that specific situation or scenario. if they are completely, truly unable to find a path moving forward or not. And clarity we see between that, between feeling the uncertainty, looking right now at the energy around you right now, asking and saying to yourself, does this energy show evidence that they can move in my direction? Can they align with my energetic center? Can we move together towards a singular focused goal or path? Trying and feeling that there is some mystery here. There is some uncertainty. Trying to unlock the mystery behind this in terms of asking, why do you feel called back to this energy? Why do you feel called back to this energy if it's just unhealed karmic energy? Why are you trying to get to the bottom of it? Uncovering it within yourself at this moment as you're trying to unlock this, while also putting a lot of care and attention towards the energy that you are aligning with right now, and asking yourself if it is also helping you move in the way of your highest timeline and your highest path. Clarification coming through right now with the Page of Cups. You have this moment right now for masculine and feminine that we see is this feeling of play. And it's very interesting that we see this card arriving here in this moment, because there is something here. And this is what we're really seeing. Because while we do see here that there is this observation point with the Chariot energy of looking at this energy, looking at the energies around you right now, experiencing some of the point of saying, why do I feel called right now towards situations that aren't necessarily aligned, that are creating this blockage, trying to get to the bottom of it, but also coming to a point of feeling that there's something about this energy that you are feeling directed to that allows you some space of delight and entertainment, of delight and novelty and entertainment is what we're really seeing. Recognizing here that there's something, oh my gosh, I can't believe I even have to read for this. There's something about that chaotic energy that you're trying to let go of, that it created chaos, that it created uncertainty. But you also recognize, and you're allowing this energy to just come to terms with it. It may have been chaotic, but it sure as heck was fun. But also allowing this observation to help you get a better handle on uncovering why you felt the way that you did. For masculine right now, this is your own sense of, delight rising to the surface. You're feeling this because there's a part of you that enjoys just living in the moment. You like the earthly delights. You're coming into a perception of recognizing that you like to have that space where you get to amuse yourself with earthly pleasure right now. While for feminine energy, this is a moment that you also recognize that you enjoy that type of energy. But it also is a moment of recognizing, really asking yourself, though I may enjoy it, does it actually align? Does it actually align towards what it is that I'm truly trying to strive for? Or does it add too much uncertainty? Does it add too much uncertainty that creates a block in the act of being able to allow that energy in? Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Two of Cups in combination with our Seven of Pentacles in its reversal. So having this moment right now, assessing the partnerships, looking carefully at these partnerships right now, really asking yourself, what is giving you that equal give and take? What is creating that space of equality, and what kind of partnerships do you want to move forward with going forward? Feeling like decisions must be reached, not wanting to wait anymore. Having this moment of experiencing and saying there's no more time to wait, not waiting, sticking around to wait for these partnerships, just wanting them to materialize in the present, that level of impatience or degree rising to the surface right now. May I please have, two cards coming out to clarify right now. Whoop, and they're flying. This is that moment because There's no ability to wait right now. There's an inability to wait. You need to get to work is what we're seeing. And there's some feeling right now. There is a deep observation right now in looking at anything that blocks you from being able to do the things that you need to do. Feeling that necessary issue of conflict around some circumstances right now. And again, putting a lot of observation in the partnerships to help you determine what you're going to energetically move forward with on now. And that's really the dividing line. Looking at those partnerships and saying, is this an equal give and take? Are you going to allow for reciprocity? Are you going to allow for support? Or are you going to act as a blocker in terms of trying to let me do the things that I need to do, that you need to get done? Is this always going to be a conflict? Maybe even experiencing some issues around partnership and your own work. Experiencing some issues that need to be dealt with around partnership and feeling like either they're blocking your work or they are absolutely resistant to your work, and having to experience that conflict here to try to resolve it for the sake of the partnership. Something here is about partnerships is standing in the way, or looking at partnerships and really feeling some anxiety that those partnerships may potentially be trying to block you inadvertently, or maybe even very directionally, in terms of you moving towards the things that you are really passionate about, that you are feeling are the things that you need to do in this life. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Seven of Pentacles in its reversal in combination with the King of Wands in its reversal and the Seven of Swords in its upright. Double seven energy here. So a moment of decision, coming into a choice, feeling that there is something, that the time is up in terms of decision. Masculine energy right now, having this point of observation in terms of how you need to move forward, feeling like there's something here that you have been blocked on, having some sort of communication, needing to make some sort of plan here, but feeling stuck in this moment, and also feeling something from the past calling you back, and experiencing, thank you so much for the gift, having this moment of really, for masculine, feeling this almost a creative block in this moment, feeling like you cannot drive forward right now in your plans, in your passions, because there's something about not having time in the present, and also feeling this deep tug on some situations and circumstances from the past. Well, for feminine right now, this is a moment that you are having a point of observation around some manifestation of masculine that you feel and recognize is not coming through in collaborating with you to the degree that you would desire. Feel that communication is blocked, or the communication is negative. Looking at this energy, feeling and questioning whether it only moves towards its own self-interest, not towards your mutual benefit, and feeling here an observation of recognizing that the time is kind of up right now on making a decision on this energy, yet still feeling called towards some manifestation of masculine in this way, some places or spaces that have caused you pain in this moment, some decision needing to be reached. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with the Hermit in its reversal. This is creating some difficulty in sitting with your solitude. This is really, and this is where that abandonment wound is getting triggered, because this is creating a blockage, not only in what you're trying to do right now, but it's also blocking you in your moments of solitude. Having this moment of needing to find that peace in solitude, building that ability to find comfort in moments of solitude, finding peace in those moments, because we're seeing here that there is this deeper abandonment wound triggered. Something about this energy, we will point out for feminine, the reason the abandonment wound got triggered is because there's something here that made the feminine feel like this energy intentionally isolates the feminine to try to create a space of discomfort. This is feminine working through the wound by trying to heal the wound, as opposed to feeling that some masculine energy is intentionally trying to create this space within them. While for masculine energy right now, this is having a moment that you yourself are trying to feel, experiencing that anxiety and frustration in a moment of solitude. Your abandonment wound is also rising to the surface right now. And it is creating a moment that feels difficult to sit in your center. It is making you have to go deeper in yourself, to really ask yourself what it is you truly want, what it is you truly are trying to create for yourself in this moment. So for feminine energy right now, this abandonment wound that's triggered, that's causing you some difficulty in finding comfort in solitude, is being triggered specifically around a connection towards the masculine energy and how that affects you. Bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. While for masculine energy, this abandonment wound is being triggered right now from this feeling of unsettlingness, from this call or urgency to go back to things that have caused you pain, having to do this deeper work on yourself to really analyze what it is that you truly desire right now versus what you might just be rushing towards because it helps you get out of a space of internal discomfort. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our King of Wands in its reversal in combination with the Seven of Swords and the Page of Cups. For masculine energy right now and feminine, this is going to feel extremely different. Bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For masculine energy right now, this is a moment of feeling a real point of uncertainty as it relates to what you want to do and what you're trying to create for yourself in this moment. You're feeling somewhat energetically blocked as it relates to communication, as it relates to planning, as it relates to your own ability to bring those plans and desires into fruition. Why? Because you are feeling trapped right now around some situations and circumstances in the past that have caused you pain that you're experiencing in this moment, this need and desire to go back to things that have hurt you, but that also create a lot of delight. This is speaking a lot for masculine today and having to fight back against vices, against things that you know are in your life that though they may feel good, you recognize they have caused you some deeper degree or level of harm overall from past experiences. While for feminine energy right now, this is entirely generated right now towards a representation of masculine. This is feminine feeling some blockage today around their own feelings of this call or need towards a masculine energy that they do recognize kind of moves in their space of their own desires, feeling that pain, feeling that karmic tug towards this energy right now. But also recognizing that while that energy moves for its own desires, that there is something about it that is fun or pleasurable, then that is where this moment is that's creating such a point of difficulty because you're pushing back against this between asking yourself, is the pain is the pleasure worth the pain? For feminine, this is the struggle with the abandonment wound right now around a masculine energy, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. Is the pleasure from this energy worth the pain? For masculine, this is you having to fight back against your own feelings of going back to things, situations, personal choices that you recognize hurt you, but that you also derive a lot of pleasure from. Masculine energy are reflecting this wounding at this moment. Let's continue to get clarification on these cards right now. Clarification between feeling tangibly this struggle today, feeling that internal, maybe even experiencing an external struggle around this right now, observing that this struggle makes it hard for you to work, just straight up makes it hard for you to work. And what's problematic right now about this energy that we're seeing that you're experiencing is it's not just the fact that it makes it hard to work. It makes it hard for you to feel comfort right now in solitude. That sitting in solitude, trying to work right now, today it's going to feel real hairy to be able to do that because the struggle is so apparent, either metaphysically, internally, emotionally, or very tangibly, having to deal with a tangible argument right now or issue that is making it hard for you to work and making it hard for you to find that comfort and solitude in these points of solitude that you may require to do the things that you're trying to do right now. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with balance. The need for balance is here. This is a day, and this is what we like though. You know, this is what we like about this right now. We see the fact, I need to point out, the abandonment wound is here. There is a deeper investigation, a deeper internal probing right now on what is truly happening within you instead of reacting, really using this moment to reflect is what we see happening in this moment. And it is this point of reflection on this moment right now that is helping you recognize that the action right now is actually not necessarily one that is only moving into a space of balance, not doing things that are going to tip the scale further into feeling more chaotic energy, but doing everything you can right now to reinforce and re-encourage this feeling of balance. You know why? Because you had the balance yesterday, particularly for the feminine. We'll see here, feminine was in a heck of a lot of balance yesterday. That's what's allowing this point of observation. While for masculine, we saw that masculine is recognizing, we're seeing it here still on the table. Masculine recognizes that there are some things in your own life right now that create points of imbalance. It's harder for the masculine right now because you have to struggle to make these personal adjustments in your own life. This is much more personal right now about internal work for the masculine where the balance needs to be reached. While for feminine right now, this is coming into balance over how you may potentially feel about the external energy. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our icky feeling of the Hermit in its reversal in combination with the Seven of Swords, in combination with the King of Wands in its reversal. So again, it's going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine right now, this is a feeling of feeling that frustration, feeling that discomfort, feeling that difficulty in finding solace or comfort or in solitude right now, specifically because you feel some karmic pull right now towards a manifestation of masculine from the past, some situation with masculine energy that you feel that they was a lot of passion there, but you feel like it was extremely self-serving. It was extremely misaligned. It caused some degree or pain in your own life, feeling that pull and tug towards that energy right now and feeling this difficulty in sitting in a place of solace as you feel that karmic pull. While for feminine energy right now, the masculine energy right now, this is a moment that you yourself are having a difficulty planning, difficulty plotting your course for the future right now, difficulty doing these things that you need to do today in terms of communication, in terms of inspiration, specifically because you yourself are also being called towards some situations or circumstances, and yes, even energies that you feel have caused you pain in the past as well. And this is creating this difficulty for you as well, sitting in a space of solitude, finding peace or comfort in that solitude. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with King of Swords. This is going to feel a little different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy. Bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. What's happening with feminine right now? Well, feminine right now is feeling this tug. You're feeling this tug right now. You're feeling that energetic tug towards some masculine energy, potentially a link to your past that has caused you some pain, but that you recognize serves their own purposes, may have difficulty communicating, is not in communication with you, also creating this moment of anxiety or difficulty in solitude right now. And it's going to fall different depending on where you align on the feminine place right now. Half the feminine energy right now, this is a single manifestation of masculine that embodies these qualities. For the other half of the feminine collective right now, this could be more than one manifestation of masculine. For some of the feminine energy right now, you are experiencing this moment. You are experiencing this feel. You are experiencing this pull or this tug towards this manifestation of masculine that you either feel is not in communication with you, or that there's been some pain or some difficulty. But something about this energy is now coming back, and they're standing in their integrity. They're coming forward, they're standing in their integrity, and that is why you're having this moment of reconsideration or reorientation towards it. There's something about it in looking at this energy right now and asking yourself something about the present moment, something that this energy is doing right now that's making you ask yourself, is this energy still in the space that they used to be in the past, or have they done the work? Have they healed? Are they ready to stand in their integrity? For the other half of the feminine collective right now, this is having a moment. And this is for that half of the feminine collective. This is an energy that's showing you or trying to show you that it is ready to stand in its integrity like this. For the other half of the feminine collective right now, this is feeling a moment that you are feeling the frustrating pull of the karmic energy, an alignment towards a masculine energy that was not aligned to you, that was moving from their own purposes, their own needs. You still feel pulled back towards it, but you are finding balance right now, even as you experience in that difficulty. Why? Because there's new manifestations of masculine around you right now that show you just how incorrect that was, that are standing in their integrity. And so this is a moment of trying to find balance for this half of the collective by looking and saying to yourself, resisting the pull, feeling that decision that you need to make. Again, holding on your action, but feeling the difficulty between the pull of the masculine energy that was not aligned, that was creating misalignment, that was creating pain, but you're still feeling karmically connected to right now, but also feeling the strength of purpose of a healed masculine energy coming towards you right now that is standing in their integrity, that is clear in their purposes. That is what is creating that tug that you are feeling. For masculine energy right now, this is a moment of deep, deep inner work. Because what we're really seeing here, masculine, is this is a moment that you are experiencing some sort of block. You are feeling the pull towards some situations, circumstances, maybe even energies or people that you recognize are not healthy for you, that only bring pain. Having to assess these situations or circumstances in your life right now, having that difficulty in planning going forward because that tug is so strong right now. And it is calling you and requiring all of your strength. It is making you have to come forward and build this strength within yourself, trying to move towards your integrity. For some of the masculine, maybe even getting some assistance right now towards positive masculine energy to help you in this if the tug is that difficult. Holding, trying to find that path of integrity for yourself so that you can move forward without adding these harms to your person as you go forward from this moment. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our King of Wands in its reversal in combination with, thank you for the gift, the Seven of Swords in combination with the Page of Cups. For masculine energy, this is about personal willpower today. The name of the game for the masculine energy right now is personal willpower, because this is the moment right now, masculine energy, where you are feeling that misalignment, and you're feeling that difficulty in being able to move towards your higher purpose, to plan. because you are feeling the call really strongly today to partake in some situations and and circumstances that you get a lot of pleasure from, but that you recognize are not great for you, that typically only leave you feeling hurt. And this is a moment that you're feeling that block because whatever these are right now are pulling on you very hard today. While for feminine energy right now, this is a moment that you yourself are feeling very torn because there is some pull right now towards a manifestation of masculine. And again, recognizing that something about this energy is one that, and I will point this out, this is two different alignments of the feminine path today. For some of the feminine energy right now, this is having some masculine energy from the past coming back towards you that you feel was not in alignment to you, that you feel was serving their own purposes, but you're feeling that call back because they're coming towards you right now with some offers, with some emotional opportunities, maybe even putting some offers on the table right now of engagement, and facing the fact that these things have caused you harm, asking yourself, is it safe? Is this just something I can have and enjoy in my life to enjoy? Or is it going to cause more difficulty as I go forward? Well, for the other half of the feminine collective right now, this is specifically putting a lot of attention right now on a manifestation, a karmic manifestation of masculine, an unhealed karmic that you still very much feel pulled to right now. And really facing the fact that while you may feel that this energy is one that only serves their own purposes and only serves their own needs, that energy is also quite a bit of fun. And weighing the fun that you feel or the delight or the pleasure you feel with that energy versus all of the difficulty or pain that energy causes. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with the star in its reversal. This is the key. This is the key. All right, and this is going to feel a little different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. Masculine, this is one of the reasons that you're doing this healing work for yourself right now. This is one of the reasons that you're doing this healing work. Because what we're really seeing here, masculine, is this is not only a situation, some of the things, some of the energy that you're trying to heal in your own life right now. It's not just the fact. The reason you're resisting this right now, masculine, is you are observing some things that you need to change in your own life right now, specifically because this is an observation of some circumstances and some situation, some habits, some things about your own lifestyle, your own being that you're now recognizing you have an unhealthy connection to, unhealthy habits, unhealthy modalities of thought. That's something about these things that you are moving into. While they feel good, not only do they hurt you in the long run, not only do they block your own ability to plan, but they may have even created a huge disruption point between you and a feminine energy. That something specifically has been blocked because it's a recognition that it is blocking you also from this feminine energy. That's something about this feminine energy that you are keeping your focus on right now. And again, I will point out for masculine right now, this could either be a single manifestation of feminine that embodies both of these qualities or more than one manifestation of feminine. There is a point of recognizing for you right now that not only is there a moment of self-work that's required because, again, there is a point and direction that you're having towards a feminine energy that not only do you feel is creating this moment of instability on your own life right now, but something about if this is a singular representation of masculine for you masculine, this is recognizing that the instability that this energy creates has to do with the fact that they won't come towards you, that they don't feel vulnerable, that they don't feel that they can be safe. This is that moment of understanding and recognizing why that energy creates chaos, because the chaos is something that you yourself can amend by making some adjustments in your own behavior. While for the other half of the masculine energy right now, this is a moment that you are doing this self-work because, as we said yesterday, there is a point of observation that something about your own life right now is creating a blockage from you to be able to access the feminine energy. And that you go back to potentially some situations or circumstances, potentially even another manifestation of feminine that creates instability in your life. And now recognizing that you need to make some of these adjustments in your life because it is blocking you from being able to access this energy that you have all of your attention focused towards right now, but that you don't feel that you can immediately access, or isn't in contact with you, or isn't in connection with you because of these situations that need to be remedied. So a lot of work here. And for feminine, what we're really seeing is this is a moment that you are assessing the energy around you right now. And I will point out for feminine, this is a moment that you may also be looking at more than one manifestation of masculine, because this is either a single manifestation of masculine that embodies these qualities, or more than one manifestation of masculine. For feminine, this is having that moment again of putting a lot of concentration on what it is that you're truly seeking. What is feminine truly seeking right now? She's seeking a masculine energy that's standing in their integrity. She is seeking the masculine energy that is standing in their integrity. And she is putting a lot, and she's feeling destabilized when she recognizes some energy that she feels called or pulled towards right now. And she's looking at that energy and saying, are you standing in your integrity? Or are you showing me over and over again that you are only moving for the care and desire of your own purposes and desires, and you're only doing things for your own sake and your own pleasure? This is that moment that feminine is holding on, because she feels connected to this type of energy, but she also recognizes that that type of energy never allows her to be her most authentic version of self. And that is why feminine may be having a point of observation in this energy around her right now, but she's not necessarily taking action because she's trying to understand her own connection to why she would be called towards those energies, even if they put her in this space of feeling underseen and underappreciated, with a focus and direction on the masculine energy standing in its integrity. Integrity is the watchword for the day. For masculine, this is working towards building a life towards yourself that has that integrity. For feminine, this is turning your attention right now towards the masculine energy that is showing you that they can stand in integrity. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Justice card and our King of Swords. For masculine, this is a lot of hard work today. As we said, there's a lot of temptation here on the table right now, masculine, to go back to things that are easy, that are delightful, that give you comfort, that give you joy and pleasure, but that you may recognize only hurt you in the long run. And this is that moment, be it people, be it habits, be it thought patterns. This is that moment that you are striving, you are putting in the work right now to create this balance for yourself. And you realize that it is requiring you to adopt a level of self-control, of having to really put mind over matter today, to stand in your integrity, to stop yourself from doing the things that you know allow you to slip or to backtrack or potentially create chaos in your life right now. While for feminine right now, this is that orientation point as we see all of this energy around you. And even as we see this point of uncertainty about the masculine energy around you, you are finding your point of focus by keeping your alignment directed towards creating balance in your life and recognizing that you need masculine energy to stand in its integrity to help preserve and maintain that balance. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with the 10 of Cups in its upright. And this is what we love to see. This is the work of the healing. This is how we get through that feeling of discomfort. This is how you work through the discomfort right now. How do you do it? For masculine, you can't think about today. You can't think about today because today feels rough. Today feels rough. You have to keep the way you create this balance for yourself today, masculine, the way you move out of this blockage is you move and you work on what you're trying to manifest long-term. What is that long-term joy? What is that long-term goal? Where do you want to see yourself? What does that look like? What does that partnership look like? What does that path look like? Focusing on that right now, masculine, is what helps you have the self-control for the present. That is what's going to help you right now create that point of balance, to help you keep from falling into those temptation pitfalls, if you will, that you're feeling so called towards today. While for feminine energy, what we're really seeing right now is this is a moment that you yourself are also getting back into balance today by, again, keeping your manifestations at the top of your priority list, not moving from a need-based mentality towards the abandonment wound or what the abandonment wound is triggering, but keeping that focus on that long-term future scenario, what that looks like for yourself, articulating it as best as you can, and also with the recognition right now that you need a masculine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. You need a masculine energy that is standing in its integrity to create this future scenario with. That is how you yourself are reorienting in the space of that trigger being hit towards clearly some masculine energy that has not provided that integrity for you in the past, though you may be feeling called towards it. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our King of Swords in combination with the Star in its reversal. This moment right now, and it's going to feel very different for masculine and feminine energy, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. Masculine right now, this is a moment of you really trying to stand in your integrity. This is you feeling like you have to put a lot. This is going to feel like a strength exercise for you today, masculine, specifically because you not only are doing this work right now for the sake of yourself. We see that you're trying to stand in your integrity right now. You're trying to be in this space of self-control and personal power, specifically because you feel this attention towards a manifestation of feminine right now that you recognize is either not in connection with you right now or is held far away from you, that you cannot immediately reach right now, or that is not necessarily in a space where they feel open and comfortable and vulnerable with you. You are recognizing that this star energy has the ability to be open and vulnerable, and when they do, they shine, but experiencing this moment right now in recognizing that this energy does not feel completely open towards you right now, you're putting this work in on yourself, not just for yourself right now, but to make this energy feel like it can come into a point of comfort and trust, and trying to show this energy that you can be trusted. While for feminine right now, this is a moment that you yourself are feeling some of that anxiety. You are feeling some of that anxiety. You are feeling like you cannot necessarily be your most vulnerable, expressive self, but you are keeping your manifestation either two different directions for feminine right now, either working right now towards manifesting a masculine energy that you recognize is going to have its integrity, is going to be able to hold this integrity, is going to create a space where you can be your most vulnerable, authentic self, or having this moment where you are in connection with a masculine energy that is showing you that they have this capability of integrity and support in this moment, but still feeling somewhat off of alignment right now because of that karmic pull, because of that healing that you're still participating in, because of that abandonment wound that still rises to the surface and still is like almost giving you that trauma response of still feeling wounded and hurt even in the space of healing from it. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with the Four of Wands in its reversal. This is that moment. Again, it's going to feel different for feminine, masculine energy. Masculine, This is that point of reorientation again that we saw. This is that moment of recognizing that there are some situations and circumstances in your own life right now that need to be adjusted, because there's something here about feeling again. You see this feminine energy. You see that you want to be able to reach it. You feel like it is getting blocked from you in some way, shape, or form. It is not, it has its guards up. It's not being completely vulnerable and honest with you right now, specifically because of some issues around your own ability to plan and your own ability to build those plans with it. Why are you having that ability to plan? Because you're going back to situations or circumstances that are causing pain and but feel good. This is that moment for masculine where there's this point of readjustment. I will point out, I'm seeing two different paths for masculine right now. For some of this masculine energy, this is going back to other feminine energy, a destabilizing feminine energy that is comforting, but only creates pain and is now creating a blockage in this new energy that you are really trying to manifest coming towards you. While for the other part of the masculine energy right now, there is a recognition that you yourself are experiencing, that feminine is not feeling stable and supported in the connection. Feminine is not being completely vulnerable and open and honest with you because of this inability for you to plan, which is requiring you to make some changes in your own life right now, not to go back to the things that are harming you, that are creating these issues. While for feminine right now, this is simply a moment that you are looking right now. Your manifestation is towards a masculine energy that stands in their integrity. But you are not necessarily, you are having this observation right now. And again, this is two different places that the feminine energy is falling. This is either recognizing right now the feeling that there is a masculine energy that's standing in their integrity, but you're not feeling open and honest enough because you feel like it is too hard to plan or to have some kind of chance to be able to meet with this energy or be with this energy. There's some kind of practical blockage in being able to have this energy in your life that's creating you having the star in its reversal. Or this is a moment that you yourself are feeling like you are in connection with a masculine energy that is standing in its integrity, but you are still experiencing a lot of the difficulty opening up to this energy right now, specifically because of some anxieties and fears about the future that you are still healing from, recovering from some of that unhealed masculine energy that has caused you pain in the past that you still feel connected to, and that anxiety that this may result in the same outcome. Final cards for today. This is that decision point. This is that moment, the weighing right now, that back and forth feeling between, again, looking right now towards the long-term future goals, keeping your eye on the long-term future goals, even in the moment of some immediate plans, some more short-term plans, feeling obfuscated or blocked or having some cynicism on or doubt on the ability to have these plans come to fruition in the near future. Final card for today's spread is Queen of Cups in its reversal. It's going to feel different for feminine and masculine, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. This is an incredibly emotionally triggering day for feminine today. This feeling, this perfect storm of feeling the connection to the old karmic energy rising up, having you have to face that, building some anxieties for the future because of those rememberings of the past, but also keeping your eye trying to stay focused on your own long-term path, on what is going to make you happy in terms of the long-term future. This is a moment that feels extremely emotionally dysregulating for the feminine energy. This is a moment of feminine really having masculine today. I have to point out, masculine struggle today is not falling into temptation in what feels good, though it may hurt them. Feminine's temptation today is not allowing their emotional overflow at this moment to guide their steps. Because when a feminine is in their emotional overflow, that is when the abandonment wound gets triggered. That is when she starts moving from a need-based approach. And for masculine right now, it's when you're moving towards your own personal pleasure that you are letting that abandonment wound get triggered today. So for feminine, this is trying to come into emotional regulation, not moving into the spaces that you know aren't leading you to that long-term future path or goal. but instead trying to focus and reorient on that long-term goal to help you get back into emotional regulation. So today is going to feel, and again, for feminine, this is either going to feel like an emotional overflow or cutting yourself off from your emotions. While for masculine right now, this is a moment that you yourself are feeling a great deal of anxiety, particularly as it relates to the short-term plans and path that you have, that you are experiencing, that's something about your inability to make plans right now or your inability to have this future scenario is creating this moment of emotional dysregulation with feminine energy. But you're trying to keep your perspective on the path, on the long-term plans and goals, potentially trying to do some work to correct these immediate circumstances to allow for that happier alternative, even in the face of a feminine energy you realize is disconnecting from you emotionally or is in a space of emotional overflow because of your inability to give them this short-term future scenario or possibility. Bottom of the deck on this cards right now. Card of the day. Planning today is key. Planning today is key for feminine and masculine energy, though there is a difficulty. For feminine today, we see that the challenge on doing this has to do with a lot of your own emotionality. That there are some things that you are being called to do right now that you recognize aren't what you should be doing. That they have more to do with a lot of karmic energy pulling on you or abandonment wounds getting triggered. So trying to keep yourself oriented on the plan and the path forward is the challenge point and the name of the day today, because this is the card of the day. While for masculine, it is the same. You are feeling called right now to things and situations and circumstances that have caused you pain. You are feeling the fact that it is having some immediate impact, not just on your own life right now, but on your connection with the feminine energy at this moment as well. You are feeling that need to take this time to plan, to set this course for yourself in terms of what things are going to look like going forward, not just for yourself to help you not fall into that trap of temptation that the abandonment wound, thank you for the gift, is triggering in you today, but also for the sake of preserving the connection with the feminine energy that you recognize is also getting affected by this lack of a plan. That is the Daily Collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for sharing it with me. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my website, graystrega.com. My private readings are done over video with the option of a recording sent to you afterwards. And if you are a subscriber to my TikTok, you can take 10% off any of my services when you pay. Just mention your subscriber ID at the point of payment. Also, please remember that booking a reading on my website is a two-step process. You have to book the reading and then you have to pay for the reading. Make sure you hit both buttons so that we can have our reading. Also, most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever reach out to you for a reading. I will never PM you. I will never DM you. I will never tell you that your ancestors reached out to me with a very, very important message. The only way you can have a reading with me is if you book one on my website. So please do that. I want to thank you guys so much for sharing this reading with me today. And we will do this again tomorrow.